Alright lads, so the Nightmare Guild Quest has finally come back, and in this case, for this current week, we do have access to the Merely Aronka Nightmare Guild Quest, where of course they do kind of want us to use the new Swimsuit Bambietta, which we will be doing in today's video. And then later today on the Thursday, we will have the Nightmare Merely Squad Zero Guild Quest, where you finally get to test out the newly released Parasol SWIMSUIT. For today's video though, I'm also here to test out Bambietta versus QUILGE, because that's kind of been a big debate, right? Obviously, Bambietta is a great character that gets even better in Guild Quest, but at the same time, QUILGE exists, and QUILGE is one of the best characters in the entire game. So I want to see for myself personally, given that I am in a situation where I have both characters at the same transcendence level, I want to see who's actually the better character of the two. There is a few things I should probably preface right from the get-go, regardless of who is actually better. Having more options is never a bad thing, right? Just because one character is better than the other does not instantly invalidate the other character's existence. No guild quest should only ever have like one good character as a lead. So it's nice to have alternative options. And at the same time, one of the main things that QUILGE does have going for him right now is the fact that the final boss itself is a mind character who QUILGE does have attribute advantage against. Even disregarding that too, one of the benefits of QUILGE and other heart and mind characters is that at no point will they ever have attribute disadvantage. One thing we're going to notice with Bambietta in particular is that the fourth boss is a power character, a character that Bambietta is going to be doing less damage to, so do keep that in mind. But first up, let's actually do a very hard run. Quickly copy paste my team. The team itself is going to stay the exact same, right? Build across both characters is going to be very, very similar. They're both going to be 2-5, Bambietta and also QUILGE. Level 10 SP, level 10 focus, in this case, full stamina and also SP as bonus abilities. Renji is going to serve as our team booster. At the same time, he himself can also do a good amount of normal attack damage, right? In this case, he's 2-5, level 10 attack, level 10 focus, and then Kaname is going to be our main normal attack damage character. And then with that, he's actually basically max transcendent for the most part, so he's going to be doing a lot of crazy damage here. With that said though, let's jump in the run and see how QUILGE does perform, at least against very hard in our very first attempts. Now, for many people, we probably know how good QUILGE is as a character, but there are many new players that are starting the game due to the current, Xbox release. Switch is getting a release in a couple days time. At the same time, anniversary coming up, so QUILGE has a really high damage output with Frenzy 2. When you inflict a star element, you get an 80% SP boost, and then he also does have Rampage, so every time he gets a kill, he gets 2% more damage. You can see here, the more we go into these waves, the harder our characters hit. Might as well use our sub on there into the SA3, finish up with the 1, and then going into the final boss, SA2 is going to do a lot of damage, SA1, and there we go, very, very first attempt, 42-second clear time. That wasn't our best run, we can probably get significantly faster, but QUILGE's benefit here is that he has a very high damage output. He doesn't have an increased chance to inflict star elements, so his damage output can be a tad bit, not inconsistent, it's very high, but it can get even higher when you inflict a star element. But he does have the benefit of being able to inflict Drain, which is able to do DOT and also allow him to do more damage. But most importantly, he does have a really good strong attack to a Tracking Vortex. I believe twice in that particular wave, he did use it twice, right at the start of a wave, and it groups everyone up. Most of them it kills every enemy, but then it does group up the boss. So our teammates are able to stay at full stamina, but also that we are able to do consistent damage for the next basically 10 seconds. So for our very first, very hard run, 42-second clear time, honestly not too bad. Attempt number 2, again, we're still currently on it very hard just to see what it normally looks like because Nightmare isn't always going to be here. So let's use our SA2 into the SA1. This is where QUILGE can get a bit of a slow start because we really do need to inflict the star element. Not too bad though, Frenzy 2 usually does the job. There we go, good pattern thus far. Let's use our SA2 into the 1, going very well here actually. Might as well use our Soul Bomb into the 1, let our 2 no attack damage characters do the job, and then going into the final boss, SA2 into the 3, a tad bit faster there, and that gives a 44-second clear time. QUILGE is still an absolute beast, and for this particular run, we got to run almost 3 seconds faster, 2 seconds faster. Next up, again, we're keeping the same exact team. This time, though, we're going into the Nightmare difficulty, which I believe in this case, the bosses overall combined have like 200 million damage. So this is where our normal attack damage characters are going to come a lot more handy. A lot more handy because they're able to do a lot of consistent damage output as we do it for our strong attacks. And usually in Nightmare, the great part is that because you're not clearing as fast, by the time we clear one wave, we usually have our SA2 ready to go, or at least an SA3, as you can see here, right? So we can just keep spamming our SA2 and hopefully inflict the stars on it. Let's use our SA3 there. Looks like we got a tad bit unfortunate on this part, but that's fine. We'll use our... Might as well use our SA2 instead. I was going to use my Soul on there, but the SA2 came back in time. Any leftover mobs aren't really much of a threat because they usually get dealt with the Vortex. Let's use our Soul Bomb into the 2, then use our 1. Unfortunately, this is where the SP boost did wear off. Maybe I should have waited to use my Soul Bomb, but in this case, for our first run on Nightmare, we got a 24-second clear time. Around 20 seconds slower compared to our very hard clear, which makes sense. The bosses have significantly more HP here. Let's try that again. Our last time with QUILGE in this case. Let's see if we can get faster than 24 seconds. Hopefully we can inflict a 1,000 right away. Yes, we can. SA3 following up with that. Our Nat characters are going to finish up with their normal attacks. Then let's use our 2. Use our strong attack 1. The SP boost is about to wear off, but I'm pretty sure we should be fine, hopefully. Let's use our SA3 into the 2. Can we get a status proc? Hopefully we can. There we go. Nice and easy. Again, timing is just basically perfect with characters like this. Like, even if we don't get SP boost, we usually get our strong attack all back by the time we get into our next wave. Here we go. Going into the final boss. SA2 into the Soul Bomb. Into the 1. Let our no attack characters finish up, and in that case, a tad bit faster. In this case, 28 seconds. So around 4 seconds faster this time. Could have actually got a sub 30 there almost. So funny enough, when compared to the very hard and also Nightmare Guild quests, our clear times are very similar. Our first run, we got 42 seconds remaining. Then our second attempt on very hard, we got 44 seconds remaining. And then for Nightmare, 24 seconds remaining on our first attempt, and then 28 seconds remaining on our second attempt. Making improvements. First 4 attempts honestly did go very well. At no point were our characters ever close to taking damage. And thanks to that vortex, crowd control was not an issue. And we basically ensured that all the enemies were trapped in a vortex every time a wave spawned, especially in the Nightmare difficulty. Next up then, now let's try out Swimsuit Bambietta. So the benefit of her, in her case, what she has going for her, at least when compared to QUILGE, right, is 1, she does give your team an extra killer increase. So after getting 25 kills, essentially on wave number 3, my entire team, the other 2 no attack damage characters, are going to get 20% more killer effects. We of course do get frenzy free in guild quests, and we also have an increased chance to inflict status wounds against every Aaroniero. So very likely in this case, every enemy that spawns in is going to get instantly paralyzed and also lacerated. Now because we do have lacerate, we actually can give the character 40% more damage to lacerated enemies, and that again would overall allow us to do more damage. So when compared to QUILGE, she has more guild quest center skills that might give it the damage buffs over QUILGE, but then again, QUILGE has the tracking vortex, he has the rampage. If anything, damage numbers might be very close, but let's actually see how close it actually is. If anything, I will say Bambietta's kit is going to be less reliable here, because we do need to kind of group them all up, but 2 strong attacks do take them down. But as you can see there, the enemies themselves, you know, damage here is really good though. Let me let the no attack characters do the damage there. But it's going to be hard trying to group everyone up. But you can see we're basically 2-shotting all the bosses here, so damage output is very, very high. Let's use our SA3 into the 1. Let our no attacks do the job. Let's use our Soul Bomb into the 2. And then use our 1. And in that case, for our very, very first attempt, we got a 43-second clear time. So when compared to QUILGE, it was actually faster with Bambietta. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of surprised of how high our damage output actually is. But then again, maybe it should be a surprise, maybe it shouldn't, I actually don't know. But this is the first cat that we have seen with like this crazy high damage output when in guild quests. We've had other characters like Yumachika that get frenzy free in guild quests, but they're kind of held back with their strong attacks to a certain extent. Bambietta though, I mean frenzy too, or technically free in guild quests, high berserker value, more killer effect to your entire team with lacerate, and then you can give more damage to lacerated enemies. For our very first attempt, in this case Bambietta was better, and we could have actually played a tad bit faster there, but again the most awkward part with Bambietta is the strong attacks don't have crazy wide AoE to it, so you'll notice that there are a few seconds wasted with enemies kind of just left on the sides. The bosses go down into strong attacks, but the little mini mobs, they're adding a few extra seconds to our run. Let's try again for attempt number 2. Let's go in, use our SA1. Actually, surprisingly, did not inflict a status summon there, but that's fine again. It looks like 2 strong attacks is enough. In this case, 1 strong attack. Wow, okay. Let's hopefully group everyone up. Let's go there, SA2 downwards. Going well thus far. Let's Soul Bomb into the 1. This is where we might get slowed down a tad bit. This is where we're going to let our no attack damage characters do the job. And then SA3, it should inflict a status summon. Yes, it does. And in that case, a 46-second clear time on our second attempt with Bambietta. So thus far, at least from my personal testing, Bambietta does seem a tad bit more impressive when compared to QUILGE, but maybe it's expected she is more focused on guild quest content. Damage output, I will say, is kind of crazy because we literally are just 2-shotting characters and they're literally spawning in and instantly getting paralyzed. So for our first 2 attempts, truth be told, we are getting very similar clear times. QUILGE in our first attempt got 42 seconds. Bambietta got 43. In QUILGE's second attempt, he got 44. And then in Bambietta's second attempt, she got 46. Similar clear numbers, but Bambietta right now is getting the slight edge. Now though, same exact team. Let's take them into Nightmare Guild Quest. So this where it might be a lot better for us using Bambietta, because we do have the, again, increased chance to inflict paralysis here, but then it does allow our teammates to actually do more damage once we do get 25 kills. So let's use our SA1 there. Okay, thus far, thus good. But it might be a problem. We'll see how it does go. Because we might actually... Nah, we're lucky here, actually. Because there are times, because increased chance to inflict Star Summit is so high, it might become a problem where we inflict the Star Summit, where the SP boost is already gone, and then we have to wait like 10 seconds to get it back. Probably should have used my Soul Bomb here, truth be told. But not bad for our first attempt. Might as well use our Soul Bomb now. Let's use our SA1. Then use our 3. Then 2, and then we didn't have to even use our SA1 there, and in that case for that run, I think we got 32 seconds remaining. 32-second clear time, new personal best right now. In that case, when compared to QUILGE, an 8-second increase. And then let's wrap it up in this video. Thus far, we've always been getting improvements when we do try again, so let's see if we can actually do it again this time. So let's use our SA1, might as well use our 3 just because why not, right? And then we'll let our NAD characters get close and finish up. We'll group up there, and then go up, and then SA2 downwards. That might be good enough. Characters aren't taking damage thus far, so it's not too bad. There we go. Good damage here. Good damage here. We're probably going to use our Soul Bomb now. Hopefully the SP boost doesn't wear off anytime too soon. But at this point in time, our teammates have gotten a killer increase, so that's not too bad. SP boost wears off now. That's okay. And then in this case, let's use our SA3 into the 1. And then finish up with the 2. And in this case, looks like a tad bit slower for our second attempt. Tad bit slower, but definitely similar enough to our first run. 32 seconds remaining. So unironically, for our final attempt, that was the first run where we didn't actually get, faster compared to our previous run. But you know what? I think I've seen enough. There was a big debate who would be better, Bambietta or QUILGE. At least to me personally, from these just 8 Guild Quest passes, I haven't done like crazy testing. But the runs I did do with the same exact team, in terms of SP the characters were getting, it was very similar. Maybe this shouldn't come as a surprise, but Bambietta does seem to be the better character here for Guild Quest content. That, of course, doesn't mean Bambietta is better than QUILGE. QUILGE is still an overall better character. But when it comes to Guild Quest Aaroniero melee, Bambietta does seem to be like the go-to character here. They're pretty much guaranteed chance to inflict lacerate and also paralysis, locking the enemies in place, allowing your team to do more damage too. Seems to give her the slight edge when compared to QUILGE, who in of his own right is still good, still does crazy damage out, but they're both clearing Guild Quest super fast. It seems like Bambietta is clearing a tad bit faster. And that is again also understanding that the final boss was in QUILGE's favor, that being a heart character, and the 4th boss wasn't in our favor, that being a power character. But there will be a time, right? Next time the melee Aaroniero GQ comes around, the final boss might be a power character. In that case, maybe Bambietta won't be worth bringing. But there will come a time too at the same time, right? When the final boss is going to be speed. And the first boss will be power, and in that case, Bambietta is going to be even better to be used in a Aaroniero GQ. Me personally though, this is my ult account, not my main. My main only has QUILGE, so he's still going to be my go-to. Again, that's what I like. I like having options, right? But if my main account did also have Bambietta, I would probably be using her. I'm sure both characters, both teams that I did showcase today can get even faster. Again, we only did a few attempts here, right? Just first impressions. I'm sure both teams can get faster, but that was my test. It seems that Bambietta is the faster character too. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you have Bambietta, how do you feel about her in Guild Quest? Right now, my impressions are honestly very, very positive. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Take care and peace.